असंगोऽहम् 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 पुनः पुनः सच्चिदानन्दरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः नित्यशुद्धविमुक्तोऽहम् निराकारोऽहमव्ययः भूमानन्दस्वरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः नित्योऽहम् निरवद्योऽहम् निराकारोऽहमच्युतः परमानन्दरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः शुद्धचैतन्यरूपोऽहम् आत्मा रामोऽहमेव च अखण्डानन्दरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः प्रत्यक्षचैतन्यरूपोऽहम् शान्तोऽहम् प्रकृतेः परः शाश्वतानन्दरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः तत्त्वातीतपरात्माहम् मध्यातीतः परशिवः मायातीतपरञ्ज्योतिः अहमेवाहमव्ययः नानारूपव्यतीतोऽहम् चिदाकारोऽहमच्युतः सुखरूपस्वरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः माया तत्कार्यदेहादि मम नास्त्येव सर्वदा स्वप्रकाशैकरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः गुणत्रयव्यतीतोऽहम् ब्रह्मादीनां च साक्ष्यहम् अनन्तानन्दरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः अन्तर्ज्योतिस्वरूपोऽहम् कूटस्थः सर्वगोऽस्म्यहम् सर्वसाक्षिस्वरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः द्वन्द्वादिसाक्षिरूपोऽहम् अचलोऽहम् सनातनः सर्वसाक्षिस्वरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः प्रज्ञानघन एवाहम् विज्ञानघन एव च अकर्ताहम् अभोक्ताहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः निराधारस्वरूपोऽहम् सर्वाधारोऽहमेव च आप्तकामस्वरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः तापत्रयविनिर्मुक्तः देहत्रयविलक्षणः अवस्थात्रयसाक्ष्यस्मि अहमेवाहमव्ययः दृग्दृश्यौ द्वौ पदार्थौ स्तः परस्परविलक्षणौ दृग्ब्रह्मदृश्यं मायेति सर्ववेदान्तडिण्डिमः अहं साक्षीति यो विद्यात् विविच्यैवं पुनः पुनः स एव मुक्तः स विद्वान् इति वेदान्तडिण्डिमः घटकुड्यादिकं सर्वं मृत्तिकामात्रमेव च तद्वद्ब्रह्म जगत्सर्वम् इति वेदान्तडिण्डिमः ब्रह्म सत्यं जगन्मिथ्या जीवो ब्रह्मैव नापरः अनेन वेद्यं सच्छास्त्रम् इति वेदान्तडिण्डिमः अन्तर्ज्योति बहिर्ज्योतिः प्रत्यग्ज्योतिः परात्परः ज्योतिज्योति स्वयं ज्योतिः आत्मज्योतिशिवोऽस्म्यहम् ज्योतिज्योति स्वयं ज्योतिः आत्मज्योतिशिवोऽस्म्यहम्
Hari Om, good evening, a very warm welcome to all of you. Please come. Let's enjoy the bliss of this divine spiritual experience. We shall invoke the power of joint prayers. Asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityorma amritam gamaya sahana bhavatu sahanau bhunaktu sahaviryankara vavahai tejasvina vadhitamastu ma vedvishavahai Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. O Lord the Almighty, the Omniscient, the Omnipotent, the Omnipresent, who also has the divine name as Mahodadishayaha, to such a Supreme Almighty, together with Shraddha, Bhakti and Prapatti, we offer our humble most salutations. To seek His grace, His mercy, His love, His affection, His benevolence, His forgiveness, His strength, His resilience. O Lord, bless us with the divine qualities such as Shraddha, Bhakti, Jnana, Viragya and Prapatti in a much more enhanced proportion. This is only and only to understand Thy true self. In this very life and life alone. This can happen only by Your grace and Your blessings. We again and again beseech in You to grant us this rarest of the rare opportunities and lead these souls in whatever manner You like. But eventually, make sure that we reach You. We reach Your lotus feet. Om Tat Sat. Humble salutations to the Guru Parampara. Om Tat Sat. Today, by the grace of the Almighty and the blessings of the Guru Parampara, we are on our Divine Discourse number 463. On the 10th of February 2026, Swasti Sri Vishwavasunama Samvatsara Uttarayana Shishira Rutu Maghamasa Krishna Paksha Bhomavasare Navmyatito Vishaka Nakshatra Dhruvanama Yoge Taitulakarani. On this auspicious day of Tuesday and the auspicious time of the evening, we all together once again reaffirm our oath, our pledge, with much more conviction. Naham karta hari karta, hari preranaya hari prityartha. The entire teaching of moving from a Jiva Bhava to the Atma Swarupa Bhava is in this thought. Know that you are not the doer. Everything in you, voluntarily and involuntarily, is happening by the power of Prakriti, guided by Maya and supported by Ishvara through the Supreme Almighty Parabrahman. Have this clear understanding and be a silent observer of every action, thought, word that is happening in your lives. This is the primordial way to move towards that self-realization or liberation or moksha. Our humble salutations to the Guru Parampara once again. Om Tat Sat. Good evening, everybody. A very warm welcome to all of you once again. So we are on our Aparoksha Anubhuthi episode 50. It's a great number actually if you see. But what should be more interesting to us is how much we have been able to learn from this. And how much we are practicing from whatever we have learnt. And I'm sure that we all are doing well. And how do I say that? Because without His grace, even listening to this will not happen. That's for sure. And the amount of dedication I see in all of you is phenomenal, marvelous, and beyond one's understanding. See, this I'm not saying just to encourage you or something, because you all don't need any encouragement now. I know that quest is burning, boiling. It has crossed the 100-degree temperature now. We must get it. That is what is there in all of us at this point. Okay, now to put more fuel into such kind of a mumukshutva, now we'll move ahead. What did we learn till last? Shloka 124, where Dharana, Dhyana and Samadhi, that's what we understood. So the 15 steps now given by Bhagavan Shankaracharya is very clear in front of us. But if you carefully observe, there is one primary distinction, a massive distinction between the Ashtanga Yoga, which is the Patanjali Yoga Sutra, Raja Yoga, which we call in other words, and with the Jnana Marga, which Bhagavan Shankaracharya is elucidating. And what I see here is, in Patanjali Yoga Sutra, The 8 steps, what we call yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, samadhi. You need to master each and every step, and each and every step is required to move to the next level. But whereas what Bhagavan Shankaracharya is propagating is anywhere and everywhere you take his explanation, it directly or indirectly, it boils down to the point that everything is Brahman. Anything you take Tyaga, you take Desha, Mauna, Asana, everywhere he says only focus on that one supreme reality. So which means if you practice one to the fullest, that's enough to take you to the stage of realization, because everything is going around the same principle. This is the beauty of this Jnana Marga, which we need to understand precisely. Now the two options what we have. Earlier even I was not too clear and comfortable. How is that we grahasthas somewhere in between, by the grace of God we got some krupa and we got attracted to this sphere of science, knowledge in our life, which we so call as spiritual life. How are we able to achieve? Where they talk of reaching the state of samadhi, where you're sitting without any body movement for not just a few minutes, you're sitting for hours together and thoughtlessly you are in a position to lift your mind, make it empty. So very listening to all this, it's a demotivator. It immediately puts you down. It says, no, this is not my cup of tea. I can't even sit for half an hour without my body movements. Where are you talking about sitting for hours without movements? And forget about the body movement. You're saying even the mind also, there should be no thoughts. Now that is the Raja Yoga Marga. If you have mastered that, then follow Raja Yoga to the fullest. Where? Mind. Mind is the culprit which is coming in between us and the divine. God plus man equals Jiva. So between God and Jiva, what is there in between? Man is there. Man means human. So now, Jiva, God plus ego. Ego is that mind basically, equals human. Okay. Now human minus ego equals God. So what is that which has come over here? That ego, that sense of understanding that I am the doer. This is the only hitch which we have got. There is nothing else to do as a big practice over here or to know so many things. No, all that is to maintain that satsang and see that your thoughts are all aligned together. That's all, just that ego. I am the doer. What you are doing, lakhs and lakhs of functions are happening in your body. Trillions and trillions of cells are dying and again they are reborn. Did you do anything? And each and every cell has got a brain of its own known as mitochondria. And each and every cell scans everything which is coming into the cell on a second by second basis, without which it does not take into the cell. Go on reading the anatomy of the body, you will be flabbergasted. Phenomenal, phenomenal. This is one of the most wondrous machines which you can talk about. And such a creation, we are saying it's me. I am doing everything. Where is this foolishness coming from? So don't be disheartened over here. It is that God alone. Now, okay, let me share one more important thought with you all. See, we all are trying to understand that consciousness and know that through our mind. But that is something which is aprapya manasa saha. Mind cannot reach that understanding. Our true journey is what? There is no I over here or no jiva. Then how did this ego come over here? That ego is the Lord himself. Through the reflected consciousness, he has forgotten his true nature. He himself has become Atmana eva Atmanat Akasha Sambhutah Akashat Vayor Vayor Agnihi Agnir Apah Apah Prithvi Prithvi Anna, then Aushadayah Annat Purusha, then from Purusha the whole world was created. Then in this world there were living and non-living beings. And then came the human beings. And in that human being, the Lord, since there is a mind in a human being, that reflected consciousness on that mind, he became the jiva. It is he only was become everything over here. There is no you, me, I, him, she. No. Everything is you. So now, how this is further corroborated? It says that that consciousness during the waking state, it has got a name also. As we say, I am a waker in the waking state. What do I say? I am a waker. And what is my state? Waking state. Now, the depth of the Upanishads say that consciousness which is living through this jiva in that waking state is known as Vishwa. Vishwa, Jagrata Avastha, and the world it is Jagrata Prapancha. Okay. Now when you go to dreams, what are you called as? We call ourselves as a dreamer. But here again, that same consciousness, it goes through a state of dream, and that is known as Taijasa. Taijasa is the Swapna Prapancha, and Avastha is Swapna Avastha. Of whom? Not you as a jiva, but of that consciousness. And the third state is Prajna. When we go into a deep sleep state, what do we say? This jiva is a deep sleeper. But here it is said, it is the Prajna Avastha, the Sushupti Avastha. So these are the states of consciousness. So now how you can relate to this consciousness? Either you take it as the dream example, where the consciousness is dreaming and you are a character in the dream. So just like in lucid dreaming, if you know that you are dreaming, then nothing of the dream will affect you, isn't it? Now, when you are dreaming, we don't know that eventually you get up. You are a character over there. Let's say you are somebody who was assaulted in a dream. You ran into several losses and then you are not able to pay. You are assaulted, insulted, and chased by so many creditors. Just a situation I'm saying. And then you got sick, not able to take care of your ill health problems, suffering with that. All that you were as a character in the dream. No sooner you got up, you said, my God, there was nobody in the dream. It was all me and me alone. Because you realized that you were not the dreamer as soon as you wake up. So in the same way, now in that dream, if you were a lucid dreamer, you would say, no, I know I am dreaming. Why should I be bothered about this? But in a waking state, The next level what we have got to understand is the realized state or the awakened state is to know that the consciousness is dreaming through this body. That's all. The consciousness is functioning through this body. That is the enlightenment. This is one of the hacks you can have for your understanding and for your in-depth study or acclimatization. Okay, this is on the dream principle. Second is an extended version is where you know that it is Vishwa, Taijasa and Prajna. All these three states are of the consciousness alone, which means what? The consciousness through this body is operating in this world. Stay in that thought. That is what everything is again and again. Bhagavan Shankaracharya is emphasizing in all the 15 steps. Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya. Get established in that. Now, the third one, applying science, where you know that there are three major energies which are operating in the universe. Three factors, as per Nikola Tesla. Science says this, and astrophysicists now prove it. They say it is energy, vibration, and frequency. Now, what are these three things? Today I was able to derive an acronym to it. Acronym is, what is that? Action. Today morning I was able to. Now I just set these three in a common, in one particular fashion. Just a second. Energy, vibration. Okay, tab. See, we all know tab, right? This is one very common word which we use in our daily usage. What is tab now? Thought, action, and B is thought, action, and B is, I'll tell you later. I think there's some confusion in this. Okay, now every action you are doing where you are using your energy, now that energy is nothing but supplied from the consciousness. You don't have anything of your own. Just like your mobile, you have either the Wi-Fi or the mobile data. If both are gone, you're gone. Your mobile is of no use. Or if your fan is functioning, AC is functioning, it's because of the electricity. So, energy. Every movement of your body, every movement in the universe is regulated by the power of energy which is prevailing in the universe. And then comes your vibration. The second principle. Vibration is that breath. Continuously you are taking breath. Inhale, exhale. And that breath which is taken is supplied into the 72,000 nadis as prana, the enlivening factor of life. And the third one is the thought. See how it is. That thought is constantly coming. You don't have to justify from where am I getting these thoughts. The thoughts, if you closely observe, are all coming from the universe. And what is the principle for that again? Observer and the observed effect. Again, all Oppenheimer. So many scientists who have devised this now. Something is observing somewhere. And here every action is happening. So don't be under the wrong impression that you are the doer. All these facts are good enough. So catch hold of this. And now how do you see yourself? You are seeing yourself. I'm giving you the punchline now. You are seeing yourself as the consciousness observing this jiva. Not as you trying to see where consciousness is. That's ruled out. So whenever you see anything, you hear anything, you experience anything, you taste anything, you smell anything, everything is that consciousness through this jiva and the conglomerate, whatever body is there, senses are there, the pranas are there, mind, intellect, memory, all this are the components with which the consciousness is experiencing through this body. That's the reason, as the eyes can see several things, but you can never see your eyes unless until it's a reflection. So you have a CCTV camera, 24 hours, 7 days a week, 365 days, it's capturing every information in front of it. But now you say, I want to see the CCTV camera. You cannot see. You have to use another camera. So in the same way here, this consciousness, whatever it is experiencing, it is nothing but that consciousness alone which is experiencing, and know that to be your true self. This is a little technical, but not difficult to understand if you have followed all the classes thoroughly. Now, what is this again, this particular consciousness which we are experiencing? It is the reflected consciousness of this particular jiva, on this particular mind alone, that's it. But know that this is a reflection of that all-pervading super consciousness. So be in this thought, and soon you will reach over there. Without your knowledge, you will reach over there. But start getting at this point. And there, Naham Karta, Hari Karta. That universe is the doer. I am not the doer. So this is where we need to start our understanding. It's not how much we have studied, how much we have learned, but how much are we bringing into practice. Simple thing. When anything is happening, a thought comes to your mind. Immediately know that this thought is coming from the universe into this body through the reflected consciousness, and it is getting into action. That's the easiest way of understanding. Okay. Right. Now we move on to verse 125. Now, when you tell somebody anything, see, you have to do all this. What is the first question which comes from them? For how much time I should do? Isn't it? So the same way here, Bhagavan Shankaracharya, he himself brings out this. He says, I know your question now. I have told you all these steps. Your next point will be for how much time I should do. So on that he enumerates. This is verse number 125. Shri Harim Paramanandam Upadeshtaramishwaram Vyapakam Sarvalokanam Karanam Tam Namamyaham. Seeking Lord Hari's blessings, we move on. Here he says, Evam cha kritimanandam tavat sadhu samabhyaset vasho yavat kshanat pumsaha prayuktah san bhavet swayam. So as you can see over there, the aspirant should carefully practice this meditation that reveals his natural bliss until, being under his full control, it arises spontaneously in any instant when called into action. Another translation of this would be, which is by our Gurudev Swami Chinmayananda. This means all whatever we have studied so far, one should practice constantly until one gets full control over oneself, and thus will be able to enter into that blemishless bliss in an instant at will. Akritim Ananda is that. Akritim means that blemishless bliss, Ananda. And Sadhu means perfectly. Samabhyaset, one should practice. Vashyaha, until you get that full control. Yavat means until. And how should that control be? You should get it kshanat, in a jiffy. So, this is known as the true understanding of this particular knowledge. So, this can come only by constant practice. You cannot say, I'll, like say you want to take up a very challenging course, which is an IIT or an IAS, and you say, no, I want to become an IAS officer, or I want to study IIT. How much time I should study? What the coach will tell you is, there is nothing like how much you should study. All the time you should be studying. You just see for yourself what minimum time you can take for other activities, like your sleep, say 7 hours, and then your other activities like your chores, your lunch, your breakfast, lunch, dinner. All that should not be more than 1.5 hours, which means that 15 to 16 hours you have to only study. There is nothing else to do. You have to all the time study. Whatever needs to be done to keep yourself going, only that much time you should spend. If we tell somebody, oh, we are going on a fun trip and we are going to have great fun and great joy, we won't ask them how much time we'll have fun. We want unlimited fun. But when it comes to doing something, but here the mind automatically puts a rider. It says, how much time? So here Bhagavan Shankaracharya says, he says, I am telling you to do till such time where you are able to live in that knowledge and do your other works as well. And whenever you want, in a jiffy, you should be able to catch hold of it. You should not be then, oh, I want to prepare, now I do Brahmari, I do Anulom Vilom, and then I sit for some meditation and settle my mind, and then later on I experience that bliss. No. Here you are talking of that Akritim, blemishless, Anandam, bliss. That bliss should be like, it should become you. See, you have these, you have seen this mongoose and snake fight. Now, we have all seen. And what they say is, the mongoose likes to play with the snake. It goes and it attacks the snake, and the snake bites it. It gives nice bites. And then immediately what it does, it goes into the forest. Before attacking, it knows its place. Now what does it do over there? It goes there and it has some herbs. It immediately, it takes those herbs, and again it is back to play with the snake. How much time did it take? Not much time. Only where that herb is available, it attacks those snakes. Otherwise, it behaves itself. So we also now, when we are in this world, we are attacked, immediately come back as the mongoose comes to the herb, and it regenerates itself and goes back into the world to again get into action. In the same way here, Bhagavan Shankaracharya says, make that knowledge just like as though it's in your front pocket. See, that's the easiest thing, to take. If you have kept it in a bag or something, you may have forgotten the bag somewhere, or it may be at a distance. There could be several things. But if it is in your pocket, it doesn't take much time to take it out. So in the same way, have that knowledge where it is accessible without any great effort. That is the core teaching, he says. Akritim, you are asking for the highest bliss, and there you cannot negotiate. How much should I study? No. You have to only study. When? Till you achieve it. Till you achieve. Once you have achieved, then you are free, because now you have got it. And one more version, Gaudapada Acharya, Dada Guru of Shankaracharya, he says, after having got it, behave like the most normal person in the world. You're very normal. Don't try to show something you are extraordinary or something. Wherever you can make jokes, makes jokes. Even if they say it's silly, it doesn't matter. In fact, when Swami Vivekananda was in the US, his nature was, after the whatever session was over, and in his normal time, he used to joke a lot. So somebody who was promoting him in the US and trying to show people that, see, he's a saint, and somebody we treat him as accomplished, self-realized, and all that we are promoting, and what is this, Swamiji, you are joking around over here. And he says, what's wrong? No, we are portraying you as something very special. He says, I am not interested in all that. And he openly says, you have to behave like an ordinary person. Otherwise, what happens? That extraordinary nature which you have got within yourself, that will completely ruin you down, with that ego again bursting forth. So don't try to show that you are something extraordinary or different. So in this, see that knowledge comes to you as kshanat. It should come to you as kshanat, anytime you want. And how you should be operating in this world. If you get to know anything which may not be to your likability, say, what? Somebody did this, or somebody said this, or so and so has happened. What? This is the kind of a exclamation we give. That is before knowledge. But after knowledge, what should happen is, you heard the same thing, same intensity. So what? That should be the shift. So these are what we should observe ourselves over here. And then that shows that you have moved to the next level. These are the indications. Something was bothering me earlier to this extent, but now I see slowly that grip of that particular thought, incident, person, situation, all that is reducing on me. And know for sure that I am that consciousness. When you do this exercise, you will go to that transcendence. You will not be able to go to that state of transcendence unless and until you practice it. And when you are in that state, it is like, you will neither have joy nor you will have sorrow. But what will you have then? I mean, what is the meaning of life if there is no joy and sorrow? We say this, but most of the time we get sorrow. Very little joy we get. And then we all the time keep crying. But here it is, you neither have joy, you neither have sorrow, but you all the time have unblemished Paramananda. Param, highest Ananda you will have. That is what the Shastras proclaim. How can I have that? From where will I get that? You are saying not to indulge in desires, not to indulge in the external world too much. Then from where will I get? I'll tell you an situation. A dog. Now, you must have seen what a dog does. It likes to eat the bone. We have all seen, even pets also are given those bone imitations, and they are all the time biting that bone. Now, what happens is, why it is biting so rigorously is, when it bites the bone, the sharp edges of the bone, it cuts the inside of the mouth of the dog. And when the inside of the mouth is cut, blood oozes over there. And the dog gets the taste of the blood. And it feels good, that nice juicy blood along with its saliva. Now it's biting. You can see it will be shaking its head left, right, it is shaking and go on biting. And then after it has had enough, it will go and hide the bone somewhere. If it is a street dog, it will make a pit and it will put it inside and it will cover it up. And again, when it wants to have that joy, it goes there, it takes it out and does the same process. Now, in the same way, now where did that joy is coming from? The joy is coming from the dog's mouth alone. It is not from outside. In the same way, we may laugh at that dog, silly dog, useless dog, no brains. It can't understand where the joy is coming from. It's its own blood. The same way, we too are to be laughed at. The joy is within us. The mind is that which covers that joy. I was observing myself. See, when you start observing yourself, so many things come as a teacher to you. You don't have to really get some hard facts from outside. Now, what was this? This fact was way back when I was in my late 40s. So, somewhere a thought came, I should buy a BMW car. Okay, that Rajasic nature in mind, in business and all. People go by what car you drive and where you stay, how you stay, what you wear, what watch, all that nonsense. Okay. And it's about 2 years, I saw that thought was again and again coming. And then we decided that, okay, let us buy on my 50th birthday. Made a schedule. So as a gift for myself, nobody is going to give me those expensive gifts, so I had to gift my own self. So I said, okay. And what happened was, when I bought the car, I immediately noticed a sense of calmness, a sense of feel good factor. Now, where did it come from? It did not come because I bought the car. It came because that the thought of buying the car was constantly hitting my mind. You all, if you observe and see, anything which you have been constantly thinking about, and if that is fulfilled, you feel, now I am happy. It's not because of the object or the person or whatever you achieved, not because of that, because the mind got calm. That's all. So I said, oh my God, I didn't realize then. I thought probably because I bought the car, I was able to get this sense of accomplishment, feeling of happiness. But later on, in a few years, I joined the course, and there I understood. You make your mind calm, and immediately you will see that akritim anandam, what Bhagavan Shankaracharya is saying here. Make your mind calm. As we now discussed, where I was telling you, if you have the capacity to sit in that meditation and completely empty your mind, then you will reach the state of akritim anandam. But now there is another option which we have got. We don't have to sit in meditation and go into that state of samadhi. but still you can achieve the same result what a yogi, a Raja Yogi can achieve. How? Here he says, fill your mind with the thought of Brahman. Everything you see as that God and God and God and God alone. That vritti, the thought in the mind is known as a vritti. That Brahmakara vritti. Brahma akara vritti. Thought, akara means form of what? Brahman. Now if you see a car akara vritti. If you see a tree akara vritti. If you see a person akara vritti. So remove all these, whatever, car, tree, person, and put everywhere Brahman. Brahman akara vritti, Brahmakara vritti. Make your mind filled with this thought of the Lord. Then what happens? Mind is completely filled with that thought, and you will achieve this akritim anandam. That itself is meditation, that itself is samadhi for you. You laugh, you be in silence, you do whatever you want, but the thought in your mind, what is going on, is the Brahmakara vritti. See how simple it is. We as grahasthas facing every challenge at every point of time in life, we can still see the same thing. Now somebody is your opponent over there. You have a staunch fight with him. I'm talking in terms of a legal case. No, don't go with that vengeance. Why you have vengeance? Does your advocate have that vengeance? No, he's doing his job. He looks at your case. He makes a draws certain points out of your case which are positive for you. He argues over there. He is not bothered whether you lose or you win. In the same way, you also, the judge is that Brahman. The opposite side advocate is Brahman. Your advocate is also Brahman. You are Brahman. Your opponent is Brahman. Om Brahmarpanam Brahmavihi Brahmagnau Brahmanautam Brahmaivadena Gantavyam Brahma Karma Samadhinaha. The one who is offering Havis is Brahman. The person offering is Brahman. The ladle through which he is offering is Brahman. The Havis is Brahman. The fire is Brahman. And the receiver is also Brahman. That is the meaning of this. So in this world, that is the truth. Everything is nothing but He and He alone. Just like in a dream state, all the people, all the objects, all the situations, all the places are nothing but the dreamer's mind. In the same way, this is what we need to understand over here. Simple facts. But what is important is practice. Catch hold of something and then continuously practice. In a musical chair, what happens? Initially there are about, say, 20 chairs. And there may be about 40 people, let's say 30 or 40 people. Everybody is going round and round and round. And then at the stop of the music, then 5 chairs are removed. So 5 are out. Sorry, not 5. If there are 40 people, 5 chairs are removed, 25 people are out. One go. Then again 2 people are out. Then again 2 people are out. Going round and round and round and round. Then finally what happens? One person remains. That is the neti principle. Not this, not this, not this. One person is going to ultimately win the musical chair contest, and that is Brahman and Brahman alone. With that thought is going to now win. There is nobody else over here. And a beautiful example is that you have to catch this. This is something very subtle but practical. Now say, if I have a glass, a crystal glass, or just a glass which is transparent. Now this is known as the principles which is told in the Vedanta Sara of the Advaita school of thought. Say if this is the crystal glass which is compared to Brahman, okay, consciousness primarily. Now behind the glass, let's say I have a pen, okay. Now what happens is what you see from the other side, you will see that pen through this particular glass or a crystal. Now instead of that, now let's say I have a book. This is the book which I have. Now you will see a book. So which means that Brahman is not affected by you bring any color also. You bring a red color, you bring a black color, you bring a yellow color. That glass will look red, black, yellow, pen, book, mobile. Different forms it will take. But what is its original nature? Its original nature is that plain crystal glass without any color. So this consciousness is appearing like a pen, is appearing red in color, is appearing like a book because of the form which is there in front of it. So all the entire world which it has created, now it is appearing over there as that particular object, and that is known as the transfer of property. It is not affecting the glass at all, but that property which is in front of it, because of the Nama Rupa. Now you have always seen, Nama Rupa, everything in this world is Nama Rupa, name and form. So different names and forms coming under consciousness are appearing differently. Abhibhaktancha bhuteshu vibhaktam stitam. I am that one undivided consciousness appearing as many in this world. I am that only one. So use this example and see how it changes your mind. Yes, in front of that crystal, whatever comes, it appears as that. So this is not changing. Consciousness is not changing. It is that one and one only. But the form, the name which comes in front of it, that keeps changing. And that's how you're seeing this multiple world. So that consciousness with its Maya Shakti has created the Panchabhutas. And from the Panchabhutas come the subtle Tanmatras, the subtle energies. The subtle energies are the sense of touch, taste, smell, hear, feel. All this. Now, and then with that consciousness reflecting on the mind, with that ignorance, it thinks and it acts in its own way. It forms actions and it also becomes responsible for those actions in Papa and Punya. And for Papa it experiences misery, and for Punya it experiences joy, and it goes on in the cycle of samsara. So come out of this Jiva Bhava. This is how it has been created. Science is now completely corroborating on this. So know that it is that consciousness alone appearing. That is Upadhi. Upadhi is that which is near the consciousness. It transfers the properties of the particular name and form to the consciousness. So now I, you, everybody who is appearing is nothing but that under the spell or the Upadhi, the proximity of that Upadhi, the proximity of that glass. Immediately you will see through the glass appearing as that. So consciousness is appearing, whatever you see in front of it. It is actually the consciousness, and these are just the forms, different forms of consciousness. And all these are mithya. Mithya means they are here for some time. Not that they are not there. They are here. But after some time they are not there. Like a person, you come and say, Hey, how is that person? I many times I ask, when you meet some old friends and or some old contacts, you ask them, oh, how is our dear friend so and so? He is no more. He's gone. And maybe sometimes you must have met him a few days ago. He is no more. What is that word, no more? You can't find a hair strand of that person. Completely gone. Mithya. That is known as mithya. It is not false. He was there for some time. And after some time, he is not there. So know that these names and forms which are created by this consciousness, ordained, monitored, controlled by this consciousness. If this consciousness stops giving you that, as I told you, the energy, the vibration and the frequency, where are you? You are gone. You become that mithya. So keep this thought in mind and know that even what right now you are seeing your own self, like you see the thoughts in your mind, like you see that I am feeling hungry, that is the prana, like you see that I am able to remember, not able to remember, like you see that there is a pain in my toe. All these things, when you can see, which means that which is seeing all this is that reflected consciousness. Stay that is the witness, that is your true nature. One step is there ahead, but let's get first to the Sakshi, the witness, and know that that is the truth. Start observing yourself, whatever is happening, and you don't have to worry. A thought will come, you will get into action, and continuous breathing will be happening. Just observe this, that's all. As you are observing somebody, you observe your own self. Okay, I think we need to move forward. So, know that here there is no joy. You are not dependent on any money. You are not dependent on any status. Unless I get this, I'm going to be happy. Only if my son gets married, I'll be happy. And then after a while, there is a fight. And then only if they get a divorce, I'll be happy. Or if I construct a house, I'll be happy. If I buy a car, I'll be happy. If I have this much money in the balance in the bank, I'll be happy. If my husband or wife is good to me, then I'll be happy. All these are dependent. That is not you. You are that Akritim Anandam. Know that that is your true self. Become a witness, and just like as you see others, watch observing your own jiva. So this is the meaning of this 125th verse. For how much time I should do this? Till this time you get in a jiffy. Okay. Now we'll go to 126. Tata sadhana nirmuktaha siddha bhavati yogirat tat swarupam nacha etasya Vishaya Manasagiram. Then he, the best among yogis, having attained to perfection, becomes free from all practices. The real nature of such a man never becomes an object of the mind or speech. Now, what is this according to Gurudev? Then, tataha, such a person, the master of all yogis, becomes perfect, devoid of any more further practices. The nature of such a person cannot be an object either for the mind or for the speech. Now, this is a very deep verse. What does it say? Till what time do I practice? He says, practice till such time where the nature of yours is neither comprehended by the mind or by speech. yato vacho nivartante aprapya manasa saha. This is the definition for consciousness. Yato vacho nivartante. Vacho, you cannot, by speech you cannot. Aprapya manasa saha. Aprapya means you cannot gain hold of it by manasa, by mind. That is consciousness. So, unless and until practice till the time you become that consciousness, that is the state it tells the sadhak. You're asking, how many hours I should do? Till how long should I do? Till the time you become that consciousness. Till the time you forget that you are this person. You become a witness to your own self. And Yogirat. Yogi, you're becoming a yogi and master of yogis. Earlier, what did you become? Siddho. Siddho, you become a Siddha. And then the master of all Siddhas is the Yogirat. Become a master of all Siddhas. This he emphasizes over here. He says, this is what you should become. Now for us, what is the goal? The sadhya. Sadhya, Triputi. Sadhya, sadhana and the sadhaka. Now I am a sadhaka. I am pursuing my spiritual studies. And in all possible manners, I am trying to reach my goal, which is the sadhya. And for that, what am I doing? I am doing sadhana. And what does Triputi tell us over here? You are neither of these three. Neither of these three meaning, like as you have karta, karana and karma. Karta means I am the doer. Karana means I have a goal to achieve an object and achieve something in life. And karma, I do action. When you are not these three, that is the state of being an observer or the drashta, a witness. That is the state. You are neither these three. Now you can say, I am a listener. No. You are the witness of the listener. You are the observer of the listener. Come out of this Triputi. This is what is told over here. I know you have your goal as liberation. You should cross that. Unless and until you cross that state. Sadhana nirmuktaha. Tataha sadhana nirmuktaha. Free of all practices. One student was roaming around in the college. The teacher shouts at him. He says, hey, come here. Calls him by name. Hey, come here. What are you doing here? Classes are on and you are roaming around over here in the corridor. What does the student tell him? Sir, I have already passed. I have finished my graduation. Oh, is it? Okay. How are you? Where are you? What are you doing? See, the tone changes. The teacher suddenly, his tone changes. Why? Because he is already graduated. He need not study anymore. So, here this sadhana nirmuktaha. You don't have to do any sadhana now. You have already attained what you want to attain. Reach that state. And what are you called in that state? Tata sadhana nirmuktaha siddho bhavati. You become that siddha. And from that siddha, he says, go one step ahead and become the yogirat, the king of siddhas. That is what achieving through the path of jnana marga, you should progress. So now let's just take an analysis of what are the four broad categories of humans. First one is pamara. Second one is vishayi. Third one is sadhaka. And the fourth one is siddha. Now you can fairly understand. If you look at people in the world, you can put them under these four classifications. Pamara. What do they want? What is their goal in life? Sadhya, goal in life. Always a life filled to fulfill their instincts. They'll be making a plan to go for a movie, or they'll be making a plan to go to, these are all senses, eyes, use for your eyes and ears, it's nice. Senses, then you go to a restaurant, then you go and hang around somewhere, or you go for an excursion. What are you doing over there? Basically enjoying, seeing nice things, eating nice food, and nothing much to do, all satisfying your senses, pleasure. So they want, after the hit of pleasure, now what is my next hit of pleasure I get? So just like an addict, people who are used to smoking or alcohol or any kind of a vesana, what we call, they want to fulfill their senses. You'll be waiting for somebody to call you, come, let's go to a restaurant. Yes, I'm all in. Why? Because you are waiting for that next hit of pleasure, that instinctive life. Somewhere you want to all the time be associated with the pleasure of your senses. Now, as we have in these 4 broad classifications in our philosophy, dharma, artha, kama, moksha. So here, this person is only focused on kama, nothing else. He just wants kama. I want to fulfill my desires. Now the next person comes Vishayi. Vishayi is a person where he is the next category above the Pamara. What is his situation now? You can say Pamara is always behind sense pleasures, of course a worldly person, but here you can add an adjective, a decent worldly person. Decent in the sense, he follows ethics, he follows morals, he or she knows what their duties are. So all these standards are there. A good person basically. But what does he do? Again, he is also the same thing. He, with dharma, he gains artha, he gains money, and he satisfies his desires. In the first Pamara, he satisfies his desires by the artha, the money, but that money need not come by dharma. It can come anyway. I just want money, that's all. But here this person, the difference is, this money which is coming fairly out of dharma. You got it? So now this kind of a background where his artha comes from a fair amount of dharma, now he is again after the world. He's a good person. He doesn't want to harm anybody. And here and there, if there are some bhajans and if there are some spiritual talks, you must have seen people once in a while, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, they go there, they sit there, and that way, all morality, ethics is there, and very good to people. So this is a Vishayi. Now comes the third category, where the person is known as, he's fed up with all this. He says, okay, I think they have to move on in life, further ahead of this. And he says, there is something deeper to life than what I have understood. And he discovers, yes, there is that Supreme Almighty, that God. Let me make a move to reach him. And he starts moving towards him. So he becomes a sadhaka. All these dharma, artha, kama, gaining money, gaining promotions, and or establishing more business enterprises, acquiring many more things, all that is no more his primary goal, or no more, you can say, motivating factors. They may be secondary, but are not of the primary importance. So he becomes a spiritual practitioner known as the sadhaka. I want to sadhya. What is sadhya goal? He says, to understand that reality. And I, as a sadhaka, to achieve that sadhya, the goal, I do my sadhana. Okay. All the unthinkable questions, they become his primary source of achievement in life? What is that supreme reality? What is there before I was born, and what is there which is going to be after I am dead? Of course, death is inevitable. What is that which controls this entire universe? So all these kind of truths. So he becomes a sadhaka. Now, on with this sadhaka. As a sadhaka goes on achieving with dharma, artha, kama, moksha. No, he is not looking at the other three. Whatever comes, whatever goes is fine. I've made my sufficient planning. Rest is all. He is the doer. Nam karta, hari karta. I just want to understand that reality, that moksha, that is the Sidda. Enlightenment is my goal. Liberation is my goal. Now here, Bhagavan Shankaracharya says, Bhavati Yogirat. From Sidda he becomes a Yogirat. Now Yogirat is somebody where dharma, artha, kama, just like a Sidda is given up, and he is focusing on the moksha. Here this Yogirat has also given up moksha. I don't want moksha. See, what is this state then? I don't want to moksha is a state where, as Bhagavan Shankaracharya says, is Tat Swarupam na Chaitasya Vishayo Manaso Giram, where the mind and the speech cannot explain that meaning. He becomes the consciousness. He becomes that moksha. He does not want moksha, he becomes that liberation. That is the state of Yogirat, which will give you that Akratim Anandam. So he's showing ways. How much time do I study? This is all the situation till you need to study. In fact, there is a in, I think, Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, where it is said, na nirodho na chotpatti, na baddho na sadhakaha. So where there is no dissolution, there is no evolution, there is no baddha, there is no bondage, there is no sadhaka. It is that God and God alone, and he has become everything, meaning he becomes that state of consciousness. Okay, so now I think we'll stop here. 127 and 128 we'll take during the next class. I wanted to tell two stories about now the next two verses are interesting, 127, 128, where Bhagavan Shankaracharya says, now I've told you, given you that 15 principles, I've told you till what time you have to do this is first become a Sidda and then become a Yogirat. Now what are the problems you will face? Let me caution you. You say, no, somebody is going somewhere to some country. They say, be careful with so and so. Like as you get out of the airport, now you don't immediately get into any taxi which comes over there. There is a particular counter, you go there, and then through that counter you buy your token to go to your destination. So these kind of whatever alertness the one has to tell you, they will tell you that way. So here Bhagavan Shankaracharya says, I will give you, there are several aspects by which you can fall down. And those are what which he, these factors which he will be telling us in the next 127 and 128. So we listen to that story, Vrittasura. Now that Vrittasura, such a demon-like person, how did his soul merge into the feet of Narayana when he lost the war with Lord Indra? Now that is what is our question. And then subsequently he is born as a child to so and all that. Now we'll get to understand this. Maybe we'll not be able to finish that, but whatever we can, we'll try to complete it today. Okay, come. Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. Idam Namam. We have today Vishnu Sahasranama, Mahodadishayaha. Now the shloka goes as follows. Shloka number 55. जीवो विनीता साक्षी मुकुंदो मित विक्रमः अम्भो निधिरनन्तात्मा महोदधिशयोऽन्तकः. Mahodadi means the great ocean. It refers to the Lord who rests in the Kshira Sagara, as we have seen, ocean of milk, what we say. Now, one of these 7 oceans, there are actually 7 oceans, altogether is known as Kshira Sagara. So, these 7 oceans, what do they contain of? One is of salt, sugarcane juice, wine, and another one is of ghee and butter, and next is curd, then the next is milk and nectar. And who dwells in the middle of the Hrit Kamala, the heart of the ocean, in that deluge ocean is this Mahodadishayaha. Now this comparison is given at the cosmic level, Brahmanda level. Now an analysis with respect to the same Kshira Sagara, this Lord who is residing in the ocean, the 7 oceans, how is he in our own physical body as a Pindanda? So there he talks about, just like as you have 7 oceans over there, here you have 7 spiritual chakras. The first one is the Mooladhara chakra, located in the position of the excretory organs. Now this is the ocean of salt. The second is the Swadhisthana chakra, which is at the genital level. Now this is the ocean of sugarcane juice. This chakra gives the pleasure of worldly happiness in life. Now above this in the navel comes the Manipura chakra. This is the ocean of wine that gives the pleasure of intoxication of lust. That is that fire element. Above this is the Anahata chakra. This is called the ocean of ghee, butter, or the ocean of, or the heart ocean. So we say, his heart is like butter. So that way, so that heart ocean. From here the spiritual world opens up. The practice of filling the heart with the butter of devotion and waiting for the Lord begins here. The Lord who rests in this heart ocean is called Mahodadishayaha. If you say, where is this Lord? He is in your heart. So going further up is the Vishuddhi chakra, or the ocean of curd. Here the wise person becomes a seer of the 3 times, the past, present and the future. Beyond that is the Kshira Sagar of the Agnya chakra. This is where one sees the Lord in the middle of the eyebrows, the Agnya chakra. This is the vision of the Lord who rests in the Kshira Sagara. He is Mahodadishayaha. Beyond this is the Sahasrara, or the ocean of nectar. These are the 7 great oceans that determine human life. The Lord who dwells in such an inner ocean and elevates us to the higher levels to become one with himself is that Mahodadishayaha. To such a Lord, we offer our humble salutations, seek his grace, mercy, blessings to become one with him. Om Tat Sat. Okay, now shall we do the, you want meditation or you want the story? The best of first three, we'll go by that. Meditation or story. We have about 8-10 minutes. Oh, good. So we'll go for meditation, right? 2-hour meditation, and the one next one is story. We'll go for meditation. Okay, come. Because anyway, this time also was too short for that story. We would not reach much. Now the Brahma Jnana comes in. That's what I was interested basically to tell. Come. So please, with your head, neck and spine in a straight line. Let's do 2 or 3 Brahmari Pranayam. With your eyes closed, gently closed, your forehead relaxed, your face is completely relaxed. You're feeling at ease at every level of the body. Now observe your breath. Your breath going in and coming out. You're just an observer. Now slowly shift your attention from the breath to the mind. You are a silent observer of the mind. Now start observing the thoughts in your mind. You're able to see that the number of thoughts are slowly coming down. They are reducing one by one. You're able to see a state of no thoughts. If you want to see a state of no thoughts, ask your mind what my next question will be, and you will immediately hit a state of no thoughts. Just keep asking your mind again and again, what is my next thought? What is my next thought? You are the one who is able to see your thoughts, your mind. You are the one who is able to see your prana. You are the one who is able to see your body. What you are able to see, you are not that. A fundamental and basic principle in life. Anything you are able to see is different from you. And that you is your true self. Be constantly engaged as that observer, and not as the body, nor the prana, nor the mind, nor the senses. Constantly keep shifting your attention to the body, to the prana, to the mind, and to the senses. And know that you are using all these as instruments. Just like you use your car, your mobile, your pen, your wristwatch, your clothes. You are different from all these. Make this a firm understanding in your mind. And start living as an observer and not as the doer. Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. Together with folded hands, with full of gratitude and surrender, we offer today's Jnana Yajna at the lotus feet of the Lord to seek His grace, mercy and blessings. Naham Karta Hari Karta Hari Preranaya Hari Prityartham. Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. Idam Namama. Om Tat Sat. Good evening to all of you once again. So whatever key points you are able to grasp and whatever appeals to you, make a note of those points and try to revisit them and ensure that your practice is compulsorily happening. Otherwise, it would have been a nice listening to your, which is soothing to your ears and your mind, but eventually it has to become an experience. So for that you need to revisit again and again. Okay. Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. Idam Namama.
सर्वगोऽस्म्यहम् सर्वसाक्षिस्वरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः द्वन्द्वादिसाक्षिरूपोऽहम् अचलोऽहम् सनातनः सर्वसाक्षिस्वरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः प्रज्ञानघन एवाहम् विज्ञानघन एव च अकर्ताहम् अभोक्ताहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः निराधारस्वरूपोऽहम् सर्वाधारोऽहमेव च आप्तकामस्वरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः तापत्रयविनिर्मुक्तः देहत्रयविलक्षणः अवस्थात्रयसाक्ष्यस्मि अहमेवाहमव्ययः दृग्दृश्यौ द्वौ पदार्थौ स्तः परविलक्षणो दृग्ब्रह्मदृश्यं मायेति सर्ववेदान्तडिण्डिमः अहं साक्षीति यो विद्यात् विविच्यैवं पुनः पुनः स एव मुक्तः स विद्वान् इति वेदान्तडिण्डिमः घटकुड्यादिकं सर्वं मृत्तिकामात्रमेव च तद्वद्ब्रह्म जगत्सर्वम् इति वेदान्तडिण्डिमः ब्रह्म सत्यं जगन्मिथ्या जीवो ब्रह्मैव नापरः अनेन वेद्यं सच्छास्त्रम् इति वेदान्तडिण्डिमः अन्तर्ज्योति बहिर्ज्योतिः प्रत्यग्ज्योतिः परात्परः ज्योतिज्योति स्वयं ज्योतिः आत्मज्योतिशिवोऽस्म्यहम् ज्योतिज्योति स्वयं ज्योतिः आत्मज्योतिशिवोऽस्म्यहम्